Welcome back to the morning show on XL7 TV. Our guest is Bob Zdora of the Z Team, Century 21 LeMac Realty, and we are here to talk about this week in real estate. But first, Snowmageddon.
Yes, sir.
Wasn't that something?
Snowmageddon.
We got 8 inches at my house. How about you?
I think she hit 10 on the table on the back porch. So, that's actually a good place to measure because it just kind of falls down and it wasn't windy because it just fell straight down.
It just fell.
And actually, the bottom 1.5 to 2 inches was that slushy stuff. So if that would have been snow, that would have piled up even more.
Been a foot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, we're lucky that that we're okay and most people are okay. I know that there's still some outages. There's been outages throughout with this, and it's because they're spread out, individual wires breaking down. It's not trying to replace, a main trunk line. It's getting these individual things going in. In fact, that was why when we built the house, I put everything underground just to avoid that. I mean, just to take a little bit of the risk of that out of there.
Sure.
You don't have any control if it goes down the block, but it's been a challenge for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they brought in outside help from I thought I heard Tennessee and Oklahoma.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
I'm sure.
they're going to go as fast as they can.
And the
they're
guys
doing what they
and
can.
the girls that are doing this, I mean, they do a great job.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, there's some serious challenges with this, and got a little colder on Thursday, and it's going to. That affects things as well. I mean, it wasn't too bad when it was snowing. It was a lot of it was melting and it was coming down. It wasn't bad at all.
Then it got really wet and really heavy.
It got
and the heavy
heart attack
causes problems. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So,
but yeah, we're here. We made it. Everything's going to be fine.
That's all.
Hopefully so.
Life moves on.
We'll be fine.
I will say this since we're bringing up the Armageddon. The road crews did an amazing job of getting them roads open and fast.
Yeah.
I was really impressed by the next day, and I'm like, holy cow, the roads are, for the most roads, your main roads are all cleared off. I mean, there's some side roads like the gravel road going down to my house that they haven't had a chance to get to. But to see how well they got that under control, it's impressive for this area.
It was a Wednesday afternoon. I can't remember exactly what time, but we heard them coming down the road. And I'm designated county. Even though I'm inside the bypass, I'm still designated in the county. And I was surprised to see them that quick coming down my road because usually it takes a bit. But
because they were able to just do it once.
True, it did just
and
throw
that was
off.
it. And and then that was it. So that made a big difference for them, I think.
Yeah, most definitely. So that's a good thing. Hopefully everybody's power will be back on this weekend. We're hearing a lot of them probably by Saturday. Some said 3 to 4 days, but
some of it depends. I mean, you got people. You got to remember the guys who wanted to be out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
and their wire breaks. I mean, they're out in the middle of nowhere. They're working their way to them, but it's
it's gonna be
there can sometimes be a fee for that for being out like that, and they wanted to fix it, but it may be down in 3 places, before it gets to you there.
Yeah. So. Well, that was the first Snowmageddon of 2023, so let's hope maybe the last until next winter. I don't know.
That'd be good. Or the following winter, or the one after that.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I've brought up your all's website because we talk about it every day. Go to retiredarkansas.net.
Yes, sir.
And I thought, this would be a good time to kind of scroll through it and let everybody see how easy it is to navigate. Very user-friendly. You can see if you find your new home, residential, multifamily land, you just click on one of those, the city you want to be at. Like I said, very user-friendly. Home, about, listings, tools, media. Then there's the live webcam that we bring to you every day. I'm going to go ahead and click that one. It'll show you two different ones.
It may only show one. I don't know if your computer shows both of them.
Yeah.
Both. Okay.
I'm hooked to the server, so one of them doesn't necessarily show up when I tie into it.
Okay. But that's where we go every day to show you the beautiful White River down there in Collier, Arkansas. And you've got both live webcams that go 24 hours a day. But like I said, this is very easy to navigate. Looking to buy or sell a home, you just come in here and start searching where you want to find it. You're both licensed in Arkansas and Missouri. But then I seen this down here. This is your Z Team.
Yes, it is.
There they are. So going left to right, what are their names?
That's April Bentley, Sam McMaster, Darlene Clark, myself, my honey, and Reese Tubbs.
Very good. Now, you guys have been doing a team system now the whole time, or did you start out?
Well, Linda and I were. Linda came on. She was here a little before me, and she got her license before I got down here. So she's about a year ahead of me license-wise.
Yeah.
I was down here for a while, and you got A personalities and B personalities, and we were both double A's when we came here. And coming from what I was doing and coming down here, I was tore out stuff and doing things around the house. And she looked at me one and she says, "You got to find something to do." So she says, "Why don't you get your real estate license? You know, maybe we can work together and go from there."
Yeah.
So
And that's
okay,
how-
I didn't know anything about real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we did, and she got hers. She was at the time. It took 2 years to get a broker's license. She got hers first. I got mine like the following year, and that was actually the year I got my broker's is when we went to Century 21, and been there ever since. But so the two of us were a team, and just a two-person team. We were the number one team in the state of Arkansas for a number of years, and the number one team here. And there were people going, "Wow, that must be a pretty good idea. Look at just the two of them just, kicking butt."
Sure.
And that was what we did. So then more people started to become teams. Some were successful, some weren't. Some just try to copy all the things that we did. And I guess that's
Not as good,
allegedly that flattery's a big compliment.
It is.
And allegedly.
Allegedly.
So we
I
just
know the feeling.
but we just continued on, and Reese was kind of out there in that Calico area, and we offered him an opportunity to come and join us because people would call him, agents would call him and say, "Hey, I took this listing." Then don't take the listing if you can't service it. That's always been a big Bob thing. Don't take
I see
listings
what
you
you're
can't. So
saying.
they'd take a listing down there, and then they'd want Reese to go show it.
They have nobody down there, yeah.
Right. So he was kind of, what do you do? So he says, "Look, come work for us. You'll never have to do that again unless you want to. There'll be nobody calling you saying, hey." And so he did, and he was on board. And he showed us some things from his years of experience, and we showed him some things, and that's really been the core. And we've been very, very appreciative of the things that Reese has done and the things that we've been able to do because of him being where he's
Definitely.
at and being able to cover things. And then from then we took other people on. Jordan Womack was a apprentice from the high school, not apprentice. What do they call it?
Not protege.
Anyway, from the high
anyway.
school, there's a program, and I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
apologize. There's a program from the high school, and he came in with that, and he was taking college courses already as a senior. So I asked him, "Do you really want to do this, or are you just filling in, checking the boxes off,
Sure.
on your resume?" And he goes, "Oh no," he says, "my grandmother was a realtor, and this and that." So then we welcomed in. And took him, showed him all the things to do, and that was what we started to do. We started in 17. I was the Realtor of the Year, and that was kind of my mission, was to produce good realtors who could work on their own, but to know what they're doing. Most of these people come, they go to class, and now they don't even go to class. They take their the licensing class online, take the test, get a license. Go to a real estate company, take their license there, and there's a desk.
Yeah.
Call people.
Learn on the
Call
job.
your aunts and uncles and see if they want to sell their houses, things like that. I didn't want that. I wanted our people to understand and know what to do. I wanted them, when we were done with them, to be able to perform at a quality manner.
Right.
And that was what we did. And Mallory came on board. Things change, people move on.
Sure, it happens.
And it just happens. And now April's done a great job, and Sam's was a good catch. Has a military background, and the same thing with Darlene. She worked at she worked at Microplastics for a number of years, and now she's retired from there. And she's born and raised in the area. She knows that Marion County area very well, and
That's good.
That's we've got people who have skills that we have been able to help them develop.
Yeah, and tap into.
Yeah,
and share
and
these
it's
ideas.
Been a matter of being able to help them be able to. We're not going to be doing this forever, Linda and I. I mean, we're
Sure.
going to reach a point, but we want people to be our legacy to be people who knew what they were doing.
Right.
And that's got a lot to do with it because there's a lot of people over the past 2 years, 3 years that have gotten licenses that
Maybe shouldn't.
shouldn't. Yes.
Okay.
And,
Well, yeah, we'll leave it at
well, yeah. And so I didn't want that. Linda didn't want that. We wanted people who
Yeah.
could stand on their own and make this their profession.
Yeah.
Not just a job, and make it a profession.
Very good. Well, what's going on in this week in real estate? What we got? Where are the numbers stand?
This week in real estate, oops.
It's like me when I'm trying to get the weather map to
See?
come up.
Come here, you. Oh, man.
That's okay.
It's always the way it is, isn't it?
He talks a lot nicer to his machine.
Well, I got to. It's got to be nice to me. This week in real estate, there were 30 new listings came on the market. 3 commercial properties, 5 parcels of land, 22 homes came on the market. They range in price from $439,000 to $76,000, and 6 of those 6 of the 22 are taking backups.
Really?
So the market is still active.
I think
Things that
so.
are priced well, presented well, are going under contract. There were 26 sales, 1 commercial property, 3 parcels of land, 18 homes sold. They range in price from $35,000 to $750,000. Average sale price this week was $231,000, with 68 days on market, a total of $4.1 million in residential real estate closed this week. And in looking at the sales, and because there's boxes on the columns that we get, what the home was listed at and what it sold for. So sometimes it'll be like $5,000 over, and generally
Yeah.
those are VA loans where they gave a credit to the veteran to help them for their closing costs, things like that. But of the 18 that sold, only 4 closed at the asking price.
Yeah.
All the rest of them were down. One of them was down $100,000
But
from
you're
the
probably-
asking price.
you're probably talking
you're
big
seeing
money.
that now. Well,
You're-
yeah,
I
that
mean,
was
yes.
it was an $800,000 home.
There you go.
But
Yeah, yes.
but that's still $100,000 off.
When
18
they're-
months ago,
when they're going
they
at-
were all at or above.
Yeah.
I mean, all of them were at or
Yeah.
above. And I was looking at that last night when I was putting it together. The number of homes where it may have just been 1,000, but some of them were 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 off of the asking price.
Yeah.
So the market is coming to a more realistic view of where we are right now.
Yeah.
People just can't afford to continue to pay the high prices with the high price mortgages. They just can't do it.
You're right.
So
One of them's gotta give, and it's
Exactly.
gonna be the
And
price.
it's going to be the price.
Yeah.
Because there was a nice inflation of prices over the past couple of years, and so some of that's going to be given back to the market. And
Yeah, because they're still up.
oh yeah,
House prices are still up.
Yeah.
They're just not as much as they were last year.
Right.
So if you're looking to sell, you're still going to make some money off of your
Oh,
house
yeah.
by
Sure.
it being up. It's just not as much. You missed the boat by about 6 months.
and it's happened to some people too. They're just like,
Just
by that much.
I
that
know,
old
right?
Get smart thing. And because we had looked at it at one time, and I was like, I said, I think we're just a little too far behind the pitch here, and so okay, fine.
Well, and we had looked at it at the end of 2020, and we couldn't find any place to rent
Well,
because I
and
was going
that's
to
got a
rent
lot to do with it.
and stay in that for a couple years till things calmed down. I didn't want to take what we made and roll it into something else, And then once we decided to take it off, and we tried to do it ourselves, which was a mistake because we got the phone. We really did get the phone calls. Come see your house. I mean, just leave it to the professionals,
Yes.
So,
Do yourself a favor.
I'm actually glad we didn't. I love our house. I love the location. My value is up, so I know it's
yeah.
going to come down some, but it's going to find a plateau, and I think it's going to be well above what I paid for it 3 years ago.
it's going to.
Which means 6-7 years from now, which is my estimate of when we're going to sell. It's going to be worth a lot more than what we gave. It's not going to go down.
And you've been
under
living in it,
That's-
David. You get
yeah.
people. You got to remember, you've been living in there these years. You
Yeah.
got to have a roof over your head.
Yeah.
So that's part of the equation. What did I was going to spend money on something. we spend it here.
Yeah.
And we're better off because of it.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
kids are happier, all the things that go with the home. And then you reach a point, and we've been working on this, where the house becomes too big. The house becomes more of a project than you want to take on. There's more to garden. There's more to clean up. There's more grass to cut. There's more gutters to clean. It's those 5 steps up to the whatever room that's up there.
Right.
And it just becomes more difficult. And we've helped a lot of people do that. And from being overwhelmed with stuff to just making that break, to be able to make that break from it being your home to being a house.
Yeah.
And we've helped a lot of people that do that.
Well, when they're ready to buy, sell, how do they get a hold of you?
And be realistic when you're ready.
Right.
Biggest thing is to call my honey. She's at 870-405-0793. And check out that website, retiredtoarkansas.net. We can help you help you to get started with the process. We're there to do that. Linda was out with 2 people this week, 2 different homes, helping them go over, this is what you got to do, and we can help you with this, we can help you with that. Get the kids up there, let them go through your stuff and see where they're at.
Excellent. Thank you for watching. We'll get a short break, and then we're going to come back with XL7 Sports.